Hey everyone, and welcome back. So you're ready to really make 2025 your year, right?
Yeah. It's all about making those goals happen, but actually making them happen, not just thinking about it.
For sure. I think we all want to be more efficient with our time and actually get stuff done.
Totally. And I think that's why Ali Abdaal's approach is so popular.
His YouTube video on goal setting, it's packed with good stuff.
So much good stuff, like really actionable advice.
Think of this as your cheat sheet to crushing it in 2025.
With a little bit of science thrown in there too.
Okay, so first up,
hmm
writing things down. Why is that so important?
I think we often fool ourselves into thinking we'll remember stuff,
Right.
but there's something about actually putting pen to paper.
Yeah, and actually seeing it in front of you,
Exactly. It's like a commitment.
like a contract with yourself.
Totally. And there's this great story about Jim Rohn, the success coach.
Oh yeah, I've heard him.
So when he was 25, his mentor basically guessed his bank balance almost perfectly.
Whoa, that's kind of creepy.
Right. And it was because he didn't have any written goals.
Like he hadn't taken the time to write them down.
Exactly. And that was like a turning point for him.
That makes sense.
And there's research to back this up too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a study from Dominican University
Okay.
found that people who write down their goals are 42% more likely to achieve them.
42%? That's huge.
Right. It's not just like a small difference.
It's almost like flipping a coin and knowing it's going to land on heads.
Exactly. And even Ali Abdaal, with all his productivity systems, he still writes things down.
He has a system for everything.
He does. He calls it his goalkeeper.
Goalkeeper. I like that.
It's just a simple Google Doc.
Okay, keeping it simple.
And he lists out his quarterly goals, which he calls quests.
Quests. I love that. It's like a video game.
It is kind of like that. It's about making it fun and engaging.
So that's writing things down. Now, what about our brains? How do we actually focus on these goals?
Well, that's where this thing called the Reticular Activating System comes in.
RAS.
Yeah.
The RAS.
Sounds complicated. It's not that bad. Basically, think of it as a filter in your brain.
A filter.
It decides what information you pay attention to.
So, it's deciding what's important.
Exactly. And we can actually use this to our advantage.
How so?
By focusing on our goals, we basically prime our brains to notice things related to them.
Oh, so if I'm thinking about starting a business.
Exactly. You'll start to see opportunities and resources that you might have missed before.
It's like that thing where you buy a new car.
Yeah, and then you see that car everywhere.
It's like the universe is conspiring.
It's your RAS in action.
So how do we make sure our RAS is focused on the right things?
That's where regular review comes in.
So we need to constantly be reminding ourselves of our goals.
Exactly. Ali Abdaal recommends reviewing them weekly or even daily.
He's big on reviewing.
He is. He does it every week.
Yeah.
And he even uses a morning manifesto prompt to remind himself of his priorities each day.
Oh yeah, I've heard of morning pages. Is it like that?
Kinda. It's about setting your intentions for the day.
And keeping those goals top of mind.
Exactly. And another thing he does is he uses emojis in his to-do list app.
Emojis, really?
Yeah, it's a fun way to visually track his progress.
That's actually really clever. It's like making it more visual and engaging.
Exactly. It's all about finding ways to make those goals stand out.
So we've got writing things down. We've got priming our brains with the RAS. Now what's next?
Well, tracking progress is key. And that's what we'll talk about next time.
Stay tuned.
Okay, so we're back and ready to dive into those obstacles, the roadblocks that pop up when you're trying to reach your goals.
Because they always do, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's part of the process.
So what can we do about it?
Well, there's this really cool method called WOOP.
Whoop. Like what?
Yeah, WOOP. It stands for Wish Outcome Obstacle Plan.
Okay, breaking it down like that makes it easier.
Right. It's not just about visualizing success.
It's about being prepared for the challenges.
Exactly. It's about being strategic.
Okay, so how does this Whoop thing actually work?
Well, let's say your goal is to write a book.
Okay, I like books.
What are some obstacles you might face?
Well, finding the time to write is always a struggle.
Right. And what about writer's block?
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Or getting stuck in the editing process?
Yeah, that can be a pain.
So that's where the plan part of Whoopie comes in.
Okay, so we're not just identifying the obstacles.
We're coming up with a plan to overcome them.
So if finding time is an issue, maybe block off specific hours in your calendar for writing.
Exactly. And for writer's block, maybe schedule brainstorming sessions or try different writing prompts.
So it's about being proactive.
Exactly. It's about anticipating those challenges and having a game plan.
I like that. It's like having a backup generator for your motivation.
Totally. And speaking of motivation, that brings us to the final strategy.
Okay, hit me with it.
tying your goals to your identity.
Ooh, that sounds deep.
It is. It's about aligning your actions with how you see yourself.
So, like, if I want to be a runner,
You start thinking of yourself as a runner.
even if I haven't run a mile in years.
Exactly. It's about changing your self-image.
Okay, so how does that actually help us achieve our goals?
Well, there's a study that looked at voting behavior.
Voting. Interesting.
They found that people who were asked, will you be a voter in this election,
Okay.
were more likely to actually vote.
Then those who are asked, will you vote?
Exactly. It's a subtle difference in language.
But it triggers a different mindset.
It's about seeing yourself as the kind of person who does that thing.
So it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Exactly. And Tony Robbins has this great quote about it.
Let's hear it.
The strongest force in human personality is the need to stay consistent with how we define ourselves.
Wow, that's powerful.
It is. It's about aligning your actions with your identity.
So if we want to achieve a goal
Ask yourself, what kind of person would already be doing this?
and then embody that identity,
Exactly. Like
Right.
Ali Abdaal talks about how embracing the identity of a YouTuber,
helped him stay consistent with creating videos.
it became part of who he was.
So it's not just about what you do.
It's about who you are.
I love that. It's about becoming the person you want to be.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
that's a powerful motivator.
But even with all these amazing strategies, there's one thing we need to remember.
What's that?
Don't set too many goals.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. It's easy to get carried away.
Especially at the start of a new year.
You want to do it all.
But spreading yourself too thin is a recipe for disaster.
Exactly. Focus on what truly matters.
Quality over quantity.
Choose a few key goals and give them your all.
So it's about being intentional.
Absolutely. Don't try to chase a million rabbits at once.
Okay, so to recap,
Yeah.
we've got WHOOP, we've got tying our goals to our identity, and we've got not setting too many goals.
Sounds like a plan.
I'm feeling inspired.
Yeah.
What about you?
I'm definitely feeling more motivated. Like I can actually see myself achieving these goals now.
That's the goal, right? It's about giving you the tools and the mindset.
So out of all these strategies, which one resonated with you the most?
That's a tough one. They're all so good.
I know, right? It's like picking a favorite child. But if I had to choose, I think I'd go with tying your goals to your identity.
Really? That's the one that stood out for you.
It just clicked for me. You know,
Mm.
it's about becoming the person you want to be.
Yeah, it's not just about like checking things off a list.
It's about embodying those qualities.
Like if you want to be a writer,
You start thinking of yourself as a writer.
even if you haven't written anything in years.
Exactly. It's about changing your self-perception.
And then the actions will follow.
That's the idea. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
And what's great about all these strategies is that they're actually actionable,
Yeah, they're not just like vague concepts.
or things we can actually do right now.
Like today.
You don't have to wait for the perfect moment.
Just pick one and start experimenting.
Like if you're intrigued by the RAS,
Try incorporating more visual reminders of your goals into your routine.
put up a sticky note on your mirror.
Create a vision board.
Whatever works for you.
The key is to make those goals impossible to ignore.
And remember, it's not about being perfect.
It's about progress.
Just start taking small steps
Celebrate those wins along the way.
and keep building that momentum.
This has been such a great conversation.
I've learned so much.
I'm so glad to hear that.
And I think our listeners will too.
I hope so.
It's been really eye-opening to see how a few simple strategies
Can make such a big difference.
in our ability to achieve our goals.
It's all about mindset and action.
So if you're ready to crush it in 2025,
Take that first step today.
write down your goals, visualize your success, and start taking action.
And if you found this helpful, be sure to subscribe to our channel.
For more insightful discussions like this one.
We're here to help you achieve your dreams.
Thanks for listening.